you can create the life that you love. Carl Jung says that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will think of it as fate. Take a journey to know your true self and expand your life into unlimited possibilities. Hi, welcome to Debi and Dr. Rob's question and answer session by the fire in our beautiful home in Santa Barbara. And we are here to answer your questions from our blog and from our webcast. And this is a question coming in from Jay in New Rochelle, New York. And she writes, how do you know when you are through the shadow? You know, we do a lot of shadow work. Our work is based on Jungian Psychology. So how would someone know when they're actually through the shadow?
Yeah, that's a great question. The shadow, a lot of people mistake it as kind of the end point in Jungian work, and it's really just the beginning.
Like, when am I done with this?
Yes, kind of, yeah, that kind of idea, and the first shift that you have to make is understand that the good stuff is really in the shadow. The treasure that we're seeking is actually right there. It's also an entry point into a much larger process called individuation that very few people really talk about. You know when you start to make headway through the shadow, when there's a release of energy, and it's both physical, psychological, also emotional, and spiritual. There's a lightness that sets in. There's like a surge of great feelings that arise, and all this creative energy now is available to you to make conscious decisions about your life, whether it be love, money, success, anything that you want to use it for. The shadow, we can think of it as the limited mindset that we've created around ourselves unconsciously, but that we've inadvertently we've fed continuously and reinforced. Now, so when we start to set ourselves free through the shadow work, it's the opposite of that. We start to feel free and creative.
And when we do shadow work, we don't think of it as healing or anything bad. It's really what we're not conscious of. It's our personal unconscious. So it's not this dark area, you know, that people tread to go. It's really becoming more conscious of what we're not conscious of, so we can move out of that limited mindset and actually become creative. For me, I know when I'm going through the shadow, I feel like when you're not, you haven't worked through your shadow, you're really in this like compensation or this kind of survival mode. And when you move through it, it feels like everything's about newness and creation and lightness. So you know that you're in the middle of the shadow when you're feeling that panic or fear or you want to get away. And then when you move through it, it's just this freedom and then really wonderful surge of energy, because you're not trying to keep everything together, like preserve something or survive. You're coming from a place of openness and expansiveness. So that's a great question. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time with our Q&A videos.